How's it going, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to win a squad battle at legendary difficulty and how to maximize the points when you do so. What we'll do is I'll go and obviously show you on the hardest team that I have currently on my squad battles. I would probably say we'll go with, I'm going to go for a 4-3-2-1. So I'll probably throw Iniacho up front. What I'd say is going into it, make sure you have full fitness on your team. Go down to player instructions, and we want our left back and right back to stay back while attacking. Just because we don't want them moving up and leaving us with only 2 centre backs as our whole defensive line. We want our right and left centre mids to stay back while attacking also. Just so that we have that little extra support between, obviously, the centre-backs. So we could also just switch them around real quick. We want our centre attacking mid to go up on the attack with the strikers. So we'll set the striker to stay central because we have the left forward and a right forward. We'll make sure we've got him set to get in behind. And left forward, we'll put drift wide so we can turn into essentially a left winger. And we'll put getting behind on him, and we'll do the same with the right forward as well. So what we'll do is we'll get into the game. We'll start going over things like this. Just make sure you don't have any kick clash or anything that's going to cause any trouble during the match and confusion. So once we get to this screen, we'll go over to controller settings and go down to defending, which it's automatically set to tactical. So what you want to do is switch it over to legacy to make sure that you're getting the best possible defending you can, which using this technique, all you have to do is hold X and it will pressure and tackle the player for you, which we're coming up against a reasonably good team. So in this video, it will hopefully show you that it's easy enough to use that legacy defending to actually make a difference.
Hi there, everybody. Alan
So
Smith alongside me, Martin Tyler. In the commentary box, it's great.
What we'll do at the start of the match, we'll go into counter-attacking and defensive, just so we can hold and stop any through balls coming through. So what we'll do is first half we'll try and be defensive, try and get a few shots off, and try and maximise the points that we can get. So one of the best tips that you could possibly use is face where you want to pass. Just because then you know you're going to get the proper power onto the pass, and there's more of a chance of the pass actually being completed. Also, take your time. Make sure that the pass you're about to make is going to be the right pass. Also, make sure that you're getting into opportunities where if you're getting a bit of a tight squeeze to make a pass, you can pass the ball back, open up a little bit of space and pull their players out of position, which is another good thing. Don't always try and use the size of the pitch, because that will draw players out of position as well. Like, I'll throw it over there. As you can see, people walk straight to me to try and get the ball off me, and it gives me that little bit of time to try and open up a few players to pass the ball to.
Ross Barkley, Keane, Danny Rose.
So we're passing it back a little bit, trying to wait for a player to become open.
Working the opposition around. Keane. Onto the attack.
The key is don't rush, because if you rush, you'll end up making silly mistakes and passing the ball away just like that. So what you want to do in these situations is just hold X, and it's literally all I'm doing now is holding X, and as you can see, he just ran straight up, got the ball for me, and gave me possession again.
Move has broken down.
what I'll do is I'm going to speak to you about a few of the things that you need to do just to maximise your points on Legendary and maximise your chance of getting into the top 100. Basically, one of the key ones is to win by 5 goals, like scoring 5 goals, because that will give you around 200 points going towards, obviously, the total at the end. And then you have another one where it's keeping a clean sheet, which gives you extra points, which you don't have to keep a clean sheet, but to maximise your points, you're going to want to try and keep a clean sheet, which that's where legacy defending will come in really useful, because it'll make it that little bit easier for you to keep a clean sheet. But it will be around the 60th minute they'll start pressing. If they're not winning, they're going to start to go on the attack, and you're going to want to just hold back for a little bit and try to make the most of them coming forward as you can. As you can see, I rushed a little bit there to try and get a quick goal, to try and squeeze through their defence, and they just caught straight up with me, which
possibly a booking this. Thiago, Ross Barkley, neatly intercepted. Now they've got a chance in this part of the pitch.
There's a few little things that obviously get you a few points that you're going to want to try and do is get 10 shots on target, which in this difficulty it's not majorly hard. You get quite a few chances come available. Worst case, if you're winning 5-0, you could just shoot with someone that you know is going to hit the ball on target and make sure it's going on target at the goal. Also, you're going to want to try and keep, I believe it's around between 60 and 80% possession to get maximum points in that section. And also passing, I believe it's 80% pass accuracy, and you get around 80 points for that, which I believe it's the same for possession. So the better your pass is and the more possession you have, obviously the more points you're going to maximise out to. Basically, the things that are going to deduct points off you will be being offside, creating fouls, getting cards, losing that clean sheet. So I believe it's about 40 points for each goal you score, which I believe they minus 20 for each goal you concede.
So the first goal, it's 1-0.
So what we'll do is, if you lose a couple of games, you can still manage to easily squeeze into Elite 1. It's about the 60th minute, so we're going to try and make a substitution. We're going to see if there's anything we can improve with the formation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and switch to the 4-3-1-2, which is going to give me 2 people up front, a cam, a centre mid and a CDM. So what we'll do is I'm going to change my striker just to get that little bit of extra pace up front. And I am going to change my CDM just to have... I'm going to change one of my centre mids just to have that little extra defence at the back with me. And what we'll do is we'll jump straight back in. And I'm going to push up to attacking because that's how I personally play. If you're doing just fine in defensive, then keep staying in defensive because you're going to less likely concede and you're going to get a few balls come through.
That's the brilliance of the back heel. Look, Bale! Bale!
As you can see, we just conceded a goal, which isn't too bad. We do lose the bonus on the clean sheet,
And his bravery has
But
got the ultimate reward. He's a scorer.
we didn't have all our players
Good luck
back,
now, couldn't he? He's done the
obviously,
job for his
as
team.
you've seen.
It is level. Both sides have scored here now.
Rose was a bit
Trying
down
to
at that
switch
point,
on
and he
the
weren't really
attacking power in this situation.
there to get back on the defence.
Well defended,
So,
just getting across.
what I'll do is,
Shot off now.
I'll try and push
Fantastic
as
save.
much as I can now, just to get myself a couple of goals.
Is a possible, but not very true.
What we'll do is we'll make another quick substitution right now, just to get a little bit more fresh legs. We'll use one of the people I have out on loan, just to give myself that little extra boost in a minute.
There's been plenty of warming up going on.
We're going to take our time, pass the ball about to make sure we keep our pass accuracy, try bump up our possession.
No great danger here, but they've got the ball. That's the most important thing. It's De Bruyne. Eden Hazard. Goodness me. It's De Bruyne. He's got his shot off now.
And then you get the goal created when you take your time
Well, he managed to keep
and
it
you
down,
pass the
put it
ball
into the back of the net.
into
The keeper
positions
just
where
avoids
their
it.
players have to move to
Tucked
come
it
towards
away,
the ball,
well out of the goalkeeper's reach.
like passing it out wide. I got quite lucky with a couple of the passes on that one, just because they only just made it through.
And we restart the game 2-1.
But
Can they do
never
it in these
rush, just
closing
keep
minutes?
calm.
Well, the manager on the sidelines has made his
Make sure you're making the right passes.
waving quite a few defenders forward.
And they're going to come at us really hard now, just because they're currently losing,
Noticeable that the home supporters
and
are trying to
they're going to
help
want to
the
try
team
and at
in
least
this
get an
situation. They're
equaliser.
encouraged by the lead, but
What we'll do is, here it shows you what we got awarded the coins for, and obviously what points were awarded. We scored 2 goals, so that's 40 points a goal. I believe we did make 3 fouls, which minus it, but getting man of the match also just counters that out. We got 15 points for man of the match. Big ones that you want to do is clean sheet. You get a good amount of points for clean sheets. Shots on target, you get a decent amount, and goals. But what we'll do is we'll see how many points we got overall in the end. So we only managed to get 7 shots on target. We managed to get 1,870, which took us up to silver 3 from bronze 3, I believe it was. Which just goes to show that you could easily get to elite with this. So if you like this video, don't forget to go click on the link in the description to check out my how to beat squad battles on Ultimate. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Comment down below on what you'd like to see, if this helps.